Estás mirando Warrior TV News.
Hello, Warriors. I'm Mr. Clausen, and I'm the instructor for the radio television program here at Whiteland Community High School. And what you're about to experience is one of the coolest things that we offer in our Warrior TV program. Today is the day of the one-day broadcast. The one-day broadcast is a comprehensive and rigorous in-school project that the students in Advanced Radio TV produce each year, in which they will plan, produce, and publish a feature edition of Warrior TV News, a process that usually takes 2 weeks of time to get done in one day. And not only in one day, in 4 hours. Right now, as I'm taping this introduction, the finishing touches are being put on 5 feature stories for this broadcast. We've got work going on here in the studio, also in the classroom. You can see that ominous countdown there as students are getting up against their deadlines pretty finitely. We've got production crossing our paths right here, right now. Work's going on in the alcove as we're doing voiceover and doing final post on some of the stories that we're polishing. We've even got some promos that'll be new just to this broadcast. And it's a polite reminder that what you're going to see today, everything that you're going to see today, including the introduction that I'm taping right now, was all produced in just 4 hours. So, without further ado, Warrior TV is proud once again to present our annual one-day broadcast. Enjoy.
Good afternoon, Warriors. I'm David, here with Callie and Brook, and you're watching your Monday one-day broadcast feature edition of Warrior TV News.
First, Warrior TV will get an inside look on the WCHS Media Center.
Then hear all about the AP Art Portfolio.
Next, Warrior TV learns about the Cultural Day.
And finally, Warrior TV goes to Mr. Lukage and Mr. Fish to learn about their upcoming roles as AP graders.
All this and more in today's one-day broadcast feature edition of Warrior TV News.
Nice!
Acting.
Come out and support the Lady Warrior softball team at home against Shelbyville tonight. The game starts at 5:30. Be there.
The WCHS Media Center has been upgraded and revamped to fit students' needs. Lochlin, Rayne, and Brook get an inside look to see the changes for this year and next.
Located right in the heart of Whiteland Community High School, the Media Center has provided students with many resources throughout the years, but recently it has been going through some major changes.
Hi, I'm Miss R. Smith, and I'm the School Library Media Specialist. The overall goal is to make the Media Center the heart of the school. We've tried to make sure we have interactive activities and ideas that draw people into the Media Center and help people learn more about the Media Center. We've also worked on some giveaways and prizes with the Johnson County Public Library. We added this year the board game collection, and games stimulate the mind and are a great way to learn, not only in the classroom but beyond the classroom, problem-solving skills, math, etc. Kids in play Uno and checkers and chess, and we have Twister. There's just all kinds of, every day we have something new and interesting going on in here. Oh, and new furniture. If you've not been on the comfy furniture, you're missing out. I'm also a licensed master teacher. I'm here to team teach with teachers and facilitate the things they need. So to help them plan a lesson or co-teach something or find research for them. That's what I'm here for. I'm a resource, a facilitator of resources.
Next, Warrior TV goes to the students to see their insight on the changes in the Media Center.
I'm Annalise Hoffmeyer. I'm the Media Center assistant. Books are way more neat than they were. Like, the nonfiction was an absolute beast, so now there's a lot of space in between the books that we can put new books in. We make it enjoyable, so it's not just a bunch of busy work that we're doing, so there's a lot of fun stuff going into it. We're bonding over being obsessed about books.
My name is Bradley Bishop, and I'm a Media Center assistant. Usually as a Media Center assistant, I usually help with the books and whatever Ms. Smith needs help with, because she's been trying to rearrange it to make it look more vibrant and more open to the school, and I help her whenever she needs help. I think Ms. Smith has a great idea of what she wants for the Media Center. I know she wants it to be more open and spacious for people, and she also has a lot of activities going on. Like in April, she did trivia every day of the week, and she was giving out prizes, and I think people are going to really enjoy that.
There are many new and efficient changes happening in the Media Center. Stop by and see Ms. Smith if you have any questions or want to check out a good book. From outside the Media Center, I'm Rayne here with Lochlin and Brock, Warrior TV News.
There will be a home baseball game tomorrow against Franklin. Come out and support them at 5:30 on the Varsity Diamond. As the school year comes to a close, AP Art is still working to build their portfolio. Abby, Bree, and Lindsay go to the AP Art students to learn how their portfolio will help them now and in their future.
As the first year for the AP Art course is coming to a close, Warrior TV talks to the AP Art teacher and students to get an insight on the end-of-the-year preparations and how their portfolios are shaping up.
AP Art is a course that allows students to earn college credit if they score high enough on an art portfolio. So it is just a regular art credit at the school that you can take if you're really interested in art, but then you have the added opportunity and benefit of being able to potentially get the college credit. An art portfolio is a collection of art pieces that a student makes over a long period of time. So in our case, most of the pieces were made throughout the course of this entire year. A few things are from last year, but it's bringing all of those pieces together into one place and then submitting that so that somebody who is judging it can look at it and see how you've progressed and how your style has developed. For the AP Art portfolios, they need 24 pieces of art. And we divide that in half, and 12 pieces have to have a theme or an underlying concept that runs throughout all of them. So they can look very different from one another, but they do need to include or relate back to that theme. And then the other 12 pieces can be anything that they want, so just a representation of different materials and different ways of creating art, but they don't have to be related.
Even though APR is a relatively new course here at WCHS, Ms. Lindsay believes that it is greatly impacting current students and will continue for the years to come.
The AP Art class just has a much larger volume of work that needs to be completed, so it can be more stressful just because you have this deadline at the end of the year and you have to get a lot of things done, and it has to be high quality, or you're going to risk not scoring high enough on the portfolio. So it's definitely a different way of managing your time, approaching the pieces a little bit differently. So I'd say it's just a little more intense than a regular art class.
After talking to Mrs. Lindsay, Warrior TV brushes up with some of the current AP Art students to see how their portfolios are progressing so far.
What made me want to take AP Art is I just really like art a lot. It's something that I've kind of always been into, something that I've always worked on a long time, and really my junior year, sophomore year was when I really started to get into art and really started to work on that and develop that progress. But Miss Lindsay really has helped me with that.
I've always been into some sort of art, started with music and then drawing at a young age and then painting. I didn't know I was this into art until I got into high school.
The creation of the portfolios for the AP Art students is a year-long process that shows their improvement and creativity through themes of their choice, with the goal of receiving college credit.
My big theme right now is water, so I've been doing a lot of sea creatures, different scenery from the ocean, lakes, glaciers. So that's what's been inspiring me recently.
So my theme is about life and its beautifity and the fragility of it. So a lot of my pieces kind of have to do with, like, my first piece that I originally did was a rib cage, and in the rib cage it's like flowers kind of growing in between all the bones and all.
I've worked on my portfolio since day one. I used a couple pieces that I had previously made, and then from there I decided on a theme, because you have to have 12 theme pieces and 12 non-theme pieces. And with that theme, I had to figure out 12 ideas to go off of.
I kind of started a little bit last year because I had a concept in mind that I wanted to build off of from a piece that I started with. And then kind of trying to develop that idea into different forms to make it make more sense than just being one singular thing that's boring, but expanding it to make it larger.
The portfolio deadlines are quickly approaching and the AP Art students are hard at work. If you are interested in taking AP Art for the 2018-2019 school year, make sure you talk to your guidance counselor. From outside the art hallway, I'm Lindsay, here with Abby and Bree, Warrior TV News.
Greetings, students. On Monday, April the 30th, you will receive lanyards and student IDs in your 6th period class. The reason why we're passing these out at this time of the year is that back in March we met with security experts, local police officers, and even some students to talk about ways to make our campus more secure and safer for students. One of the recommendations coming out of that group that we met with was that all students should be expected to wear IDs and lanyards so that they could be easily recognized as Whiteland Community High School students. The expectation for these lanyards is that you wear them while you're here on campus during the school day, and that they are visible so that if someone were to encounter you in the hallway or in the parking lot, they would readily be able to identify you as a Whiteland Community High School students. I understand that passing them out with 1 month left in the school year creates some problems and some angst for some students as to say, why are we doing this now? This is a process for us to test out in the last month of the school year so that moving forward in years to come, we will have a clear expectation of what students are expected to do when they are in our buildings during the school day. So we hope that you will cooperate to wear your lanyards and your IDs so that when we see you out in the parking lot or in the hallways, we know that you belong here at Whiteland Community High School.
Remember, Warriors, effective immediately, you are required to wear your lanyard during the school day.
With taking foreign language classes, students get culturally enriched by learning about other countries' celebrations. Today, Victoria, Meagan, and Ramsey speak with Mr. Aguilar to hear about the cultural day they are celebrating known as Day of the Child.
El Día del Niño, or Day of the Child, is an annual holiday celebrated in many countries around the world. This is a particularly special holiday in Mexico because it is a day to celebrate the youth of society and having an accepting culture to the children. Warrior TV talks to Senior Aguilar and his students about this special holiday.
So Day of the Child is a national holiday that we celebrate in Mexico on the 30th day of April. It is celebrated to celebrate the kids, celebrate the children, but also to celebrate their rights. There are different festivities going on, there are different parades, dances, and also lots and lots of food and candy. So it relates back to my classroom, especially with Spanish 1. They need to know that they are celebrated. They mean something to people.
After speaking with Senor Aguilar about such a significant holiday in the Hispanic culture, Warrior TV va a los estudiantes para obtener su perspectiva el Día del Niño.
I think that it's good to learn all about different cultures so that you can understand them and appreciate the differences and similarities.
I'm actually from Mexico, so we celebrate hard work that they do usually in school.
It was cool to see what they ate and how it was different from what we normally eat.
A fun activity for other kids, maybe in the future celebrate it too.
Day of the Child is celebrated all day long, Warriors, so don't forget to show respect for all generations and encourage today's youth to make a better tomorrow. I'm Victoria, here with Meagan and Ramsey outside Mr. Aguilar's classroom. Warrior TV News.
AP tests are only a few days away. Avery, Anna, and Camron go to AP teachers who have been selected to grade AP tests.
I think are going to give you credit for that.
This year, 2 teachers are going to be grading the AP Calculus test. Warrior TV goes to Mr. Lukich, Mr. Fish, and others affected by what is happening this summer.
The AP graders reached out to us when we submitted our names as interested parties, and we entered our names as a suggestion from Mr. Ben Hedrick, who's the math content director for the College Board. He knows what kind of program we have here at Whiteland.
I think I'm an ideal candidate to grade the AP test because I have 16 years of experience teaching AP Calculus. We've been part of a grant where I have gotten a lot of training in the spring conference and the fall conference.
I'm an ideal candidate because I have taught an AP course for at least 3 years, which is one of the requirements. Plus I have experience through the College Board teaching the Saturday sessions.
The test this year for the AP exam, there's 4 different locations, but the math tests are all graded in Kansas City, leaving on June 1st and returning on June 9th.
It's a week-long deal where we go and spend basically 8 to 5 for about a 7-day duration, learning how to grade, and then grading specific questions day to day for the AP exam that's going to be taken this May.
I was excited and also a little nervous. Part of me thinks I'm absolutely crazy for agreeing to grade AP exams for 7 straight days from the 2nd through the 8th. Somebody doesn't love grading papers. I don't know exactly what I signed up for here, but from everybody I've talked to, they said it's a very good experience. They say it's one of the biggest professional development opportunities that I could have as a teacher. And that's the biggest reason that I signed up was I'm looking for ways where I can keep improving my craft so I could be a better teacher in the future to the students that I have coming up.
Mr. Lukic and Mr. Fish sound like they are ready to take on the 7 straight days of grading the AP test. Next, Warrior TV goes to Mr. McMillan to get his insight on the benefits of AP testing.
I think we have a large number of kids taking AP tests. I think that's beneficial because the experience of taking those tests are very similar to what a student would experience as far as testing at the college level. Plus, they get an opportunity to earn college credits if they get qualifying scores. It gives them an opportunity to study a subject with more rigor. It's kind of a cool thing for our AP teachers to have that experience of grading the AP test. I think that will actually give them more experience when it comes to teaching their students. I think it just shows how dedicated our staff is.
The AP Calculus teachers seem very excited about this big accomplishment. Warrior TV integrates over to the students to get their calculations on how they feel about their own teachers grading the test.
To prepare for an AP test, it really takes a lot of time management. Like you have to be able to allot specific amounts of time to your day to study for AP tests.
You definitely have to make sure that you're spending your time wisely. It definitely takes like the whole year to prepare for an AP test.
You have to do a lot of practice questions, and there's a lot of differences between the years. So like even with the mock, you still have to prepare for different things.
I think that grading the AP test is really going to allow Mr. Lukic and Mr. Fish to be able to see more of the student perspective of the test and see how students keep doing and like what the common mistakes are.
Grading the AP test lets them know like what exactly the readers are looking for.
I know that Mr. Lukic is definitely really excited, and I'm assuming Mr. Fish probably is too. They really like to know how to better prepare their students, so I know that they're feeling really good about it.
The students seem very hyped on how their teachers are going to take this experience and use it next year. Make sure to congratulate these teachers on this huge accomplishment. From outside one of the test locations, I'm Avery here with Camron and Anna, Warrior TV News.
0, and it's an alternate series.
Want to go on a tropical trip to Belize? There will be a trip June 3rd through the 9th of 2019. Any and all WCHS students are encouraged to join. Interested, sign up at www.eftours.com/2111478SE. Or contact Mrs. Bontrager by school email at jbontrager@cbcsc.k12.in.us. Be sure to sign up, Warriors, and experience a trip of a lifetime while earning some high school credit.
You just are for my producer team, so if you need to leave the environment, you have my permission.
The one-day broadcast is an annual event here at WCHS where the Warrior TV students partake in creating a feature story in just 4 hours. Warrior TV goes to Mr. Clausen and documents the students as they plan and produce the one-day broadcast.
The one-day broadcast is an intensive one-day in-school project for our advanced radio TV students where we plan, produce, and publish a feature edition of Warrior TV News, which is a process that usually takes us 2 weeks as a program, in one day. really for me, as the program instructor, it's this kind of capstone project where 3 years of experience and investment gets to pay off into one singular dividend as our seniors, who are basically about a month out from graduating, get to put their stamp on our program by producing one final feature broadcast, but not in 2 weeks, in one day. Why it's great for the students is this is about as real world of an experience as they're going to get with regard to electronic field production. So if their goal is to potentially be in a career pathway where they see themselves in a newsroom, being a photojournalist, being an MMJ, a one-man band, working as an investigative reporter, their day is going to start with a morning meeting, with a docket meeting, with an executive producer. Here are the stories that are out there right now, who wants what, who's going to work with whom, et cetera. And then once they're given that assignment, then they've got to go get content. They've got to make contact with their subjects. They've got to do their interviews. They've got to get their B-roll footage. They've got to do on-site stand-ups and closing shots. And then they have to get that all pieced together, and then it has to be sent back to the station so it's ready to air on the news by noon, by 6 o'clock, by 11 p.m., etc.
After talking with Mr. Clausen, Warrior TV goes to the students to get their take on what it's like filming a feature story in a shortened amount of time.
So we are both producers, me and Callie with Dave, and we basically have to just make 4 promos and then introducing each feature story. I've done it both ways. I've been a producer and I've done a feature story because I did it last year. And I would describe it as just like a day to like see what you're really like, what you're made of, what you can do. And it's really fun. You get to work with like all your colleagues you've been working with for the past 3 years. And you get to just put your skills to the test in a matter of 4 hours.
I'm doing a story over the AP test grading for Mr. Lucas and Mr. Fish. We just cut down all the interviews, and we have a 10-minute broadcast right now, so we're going to have to cut it down and put on B-roll, and we're working on the lower thirds right now.
We're just doing a feature story over the media center and what's all new in it. It's going really good. I think it's going to be a very good feature story, even with the time frame that we have.
We're just trying to get much the interviews and the B-roll figured out. Just gonna get the interviews trimmed down, get the audio attached to them, and from there compile everything together in time, hopefully.
Looks like this year's one-day broadcast is wrapping up as another success. Be sure to check out Warrior TV's YouTube page to keep up with all that's happening at WCHS. From inside the control room, I'm Libby here with Allison, Thaya, and Kate, Warrior TV News.
And that's all we have for you on today's one-day broadcast feature edition of Warrior TV News.
Until next time, have a good one.